Artisan's Accomplice is proud to sponsor Jewelry Junkie. Artisan's Accomplice is a complete website system designed for jewelers and crafters. Create your own website with all the features you need to display and sell your products online. Try it out at artisansaccomplice.com.
Hey man, let's do wire work. I see spirals. Spirals.
Hey Pam.
Hey,
What you doing?
I'm just chilling.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, snap out of it.
Because we got a show to do.
And we got a show to do.
Okie dokie.
Our next episode.
Our next episode. A new spin on spirals. Hi, welcome again to another episode of Jewelry Junkie. This episode is again about wire work and a different spin. We're going to be doing spirals and their effect on not just jewelry, but also in different cultures. You'd be surprised if you look at different paintings, different sculptures, and jewelry, that there are a lot of them around there. So I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Pam Healy, your host, and Genevieve Martineau, I'll be a consultant.
Hi. We're a little hippy-dippy today.
Hippy-dippy weatherman, like George Carlin.
So what are we doing, Pam?
We're doing spirals today, all different types of spirals. And I think a lot of people don't realize how many they have, like especially in Greek society. These bracelets that I received as gifts came from Greece, and they're basically this is what most people bring back. It's the spiral.
They're beautiful.
Aren't they beautiful?
Yeah, I think that this one's, I'll keep this one, thanks.
Oh, sure. Why not?
So yeah, so we have a lot of different examples of jewelry that we've made using spirals. I think spirals have a universal appeal. I really love the earrings you're wearing today. Did you make those?
Uh-huh.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So there's different designs here where we have spirals incorporated with beads, spiral links that we've created, spiral charms and earrings. This one is an expanded spiral, like a little spring. And this one has little angles in it.
Little angles I did. And also in a bracelet.
There's a little ending.
Little ending. You can just put a little spiral on it.
Yep. Awesome.
And as a clasp, and it's really very, very convenient, and it just gives it like a polished look. You know,
a little finish.
A little finish, a little clean look at the end. I really like it.
Excellent. And then over here, what we have is a necklace that we're going to make today.
Awesome.
So this one I made already. It has 9 different spirals, and we have different kinds of semi-precious stones and crystals and some glass beads. And so the demo is going to take a little bit longer, so we'll get right into that.
Okay, and I'm going to get these out of your way.
Yep. And so I will tell everybody what kind of materials we're using for this necklace.
All right.
So I've started stringing the necklace a little bit, and we have it on a beadboard. I don't think we've used one of those yet on the show, have we?
No, we haven't. I don't think we've explained about a beadboard.
So I like to use this outer groove. It has 3 sets of grooves in case you want to make a multi-strand necklace. But for the regular necklace, like a basic necklace that we're going to be doing today, we're going to have the outer groove is where we're stringing. And I have set up, these are little 6mm glass beads and 4mm crystals with little silver rondelles.
Beautiful.
And then as we go towards the front of the necklace,
Yes.
I chose semi-precious beads.
Okay.
These ones are purple, and I just thought that it would look nice, and I have them sort of graduating in size. So we have them going kind of 3 smaller ones and then 4 bigger ones. And the thing that makes this necklace kind of special today is that we've inserted these little spiral bits that we've made.
Very, very pretty.
Yeah, so I will show people how to make those spirals.
Oh,
it's a new spin on spirals.
No spin on spirals. What a clever,
Yeah.
clever.
And then I just
thing.
strung it on soft flex, which we've talked about
Oh,
before.
yes, we have.
So what I'm going to do is I will start making spirals, and as I make it, will you string it for me?
Absolutely.
Okay. So to make the spirals, I basically have 9 spirals in the piece. I've already made 5 of them, and what's important is that they graduate in size. So if you look on the demo, basically the longest one is in the middle of the piece. I don't know if this is hanging straight. There we go. The longest one is in the middle of the piece, and I am using 20 gauge half hard sterling silver wire. So the longest one is 5.5 inches.
Okay.
And then the 2 on either side, so here and here, those are 5 inches when I start. And then I have 4.5 and 4 inches.
Okay, so basically the wire itself, without anything done, is 5.5 inches.
For the longest
For
one.
the longest. 5 inches for the ones on the either side of it.
Yep.
Then 4 inches.
4.5.
4.5, and then 4.
Yeah, and I basically varied them in half-inch increments.
Okay.
Okay, and certainly you can make them longer or shorter, depending on the look that you want to create.
Okay.
All right.
And which one would you start with? The bigger one, the longer one, or the shorter one?
It makes no difference.
It doesn't make any
Whatever you are
difference.
comfortable with.
All right.
So what I have done is I did a little bit of advance work.
Yes.
So I made a few of them because I didn't want to get my wire lengths confused. So I have here the long one for the middle, and then I have
The 2 side ones?
the side ones, the 5-inch ones.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm going to start by showing people how I make these. Now, something that I've gone through a little trial and error making these.
Oh, I can't imagine why.
So the trick is, this is the super secret part of the class, the trick is to make these spiral links. They basically start with a little wrapped loop at the top,
Okay.
which we did last episode.
Yes, we did. We did loops.
And then, so I start with that link part
All right.
first, and
Yeah.
then I build my spiral.
Okay,
Okay,
so you have
so-
the loop at one end,
Yeah.
and then you continue
Then I make the
the
spiral,
spiral
from the other
first.
end.
You don't start here, you start at the bottom.
No, I start at the top. But I want to make sure that I get that little wrapped loop all pretty, because I don't want to run out of wire.
Okay.
All right, I have made it the other way, and there was some problems with that.
See, she calls that the top. I call that the bottom.
Okay, so basically, just like we did last episode, I'm going to be using the same basic tools, the chain nose pliers, round nose pliers, flat nose pliers, and cutters. And I won't go over all of those because we've done that already.
Yes.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by making a 45-degree bend and making my loop. So I bring my wire up and over the plier, reposition, and then create a loop so that it is going past the long part of the wire. Take my flat nose pliers, hold on, and I actually want to make that loop a little tiny bit smaller. There we go. Hold on, and I'm going to make a little pretty wrap.
And you do 2?
Like 2.5.
2.5?
It doesn't really matter.
No.
And so then I'm going to trim it, and I am going to tuck it in so that it doesn't snag on anything.
Right.
So just do that, and I can tweak it a little bit. There we go. All right. Now, for the spiral part.
For the spiral
The
part.
spirals are a little tricky because one of the things we want to do is make sure that the spirals actually turn out round.
And
Okay.
do they have to go in any particular direction?
For this design, I say no. You may decide that you like to put them in a particular direction.
Right.
However, when you do that, you can just flip them over.
Oh, that's true.
Okay? So we don't have to worry about that.
Out.
Aren't I clever? All right.
Must have been all the smoke that was in here before.
Yeah. So, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by making a little super duper tiny loop, okay?
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is position my wire at the very tip of the pliers and I'm going to basically bring my loop around my pliers. What's important is I don't want that tip of the end of the wire to be touching the wire when it comes back around. Right. So what I want to do...
basically like you're doing what you did with the loop.
Right, I just want to make sure there's a little gap there, because then I'm going to take my chain nose pliers and I am going to tuck that end of that wire right underneath. This, by doing this, it gives you a nice, good start to your spiral, okay?
Wow. Yes.
It's sort of worth the extra effort, okay? Then basically I take my wire and I bring it 90 degrees out of the side of the plier. And to get this started, you want to do a couple things. You want to make sure that you're holding on to your plier correctly. So make sure you use the strong part of your hand. Okay, so your hand has a big muscle right here.
Right.
And then you're going to also use your fingers to hold your pliers, okay?
Right.
So you're not, you know, being all wussy and, you know, being like, oh, I'm using my pliers. Okay, you want to make sure that
manly grip.
you're holding it, no, like a woman.
Tough woman, very tough woman.
All right, so you're going to hold that correctly in your hand, and you're going to hold it 90 degrees coming out the side. And then with your finger, you're going to basically push up about a quarter turn. It hardly looks like anything, and you reposition your wire back to 90 degrees. Again, push it up a quarter turn, and this takes a little bit of practice. I think I make it look easier than it really is. But basically, each time I'm going to reposition. And I think what's important is most people don't grip hard enough. So if you make sure that you keep gripping, eventually you're going to get
that
this.
spiral, really.
Yeah, just make sure you're giving it a nice,
And
even
just
grip.
go slowly, just a little bit at a time.
Exactly. You don't have to try and, you know,
No, it
rush
does-
through this project.
right.
It's not necessary.
And it's surprising how
Yep.
well it comes out. And you use the chain nose, you don't use the flat nose.
You can use the flat nose. I just happen to be using the chain nose because I was holding them in my hand.
Okay.
So basically what I do is once I think that my spiral is about the right size, I will compare it to one of the previous spirals that I made. So that one looks like it's a hair smaller.
Right.
So I'm just going to spiral it a little bit more. So not much more, just a little bit hair more, to make sure that it's about the same size as the other spirals, and that looks really good. Okay?
Looks beautiful.
All right, so now we're going to do the squiggly part. All right, so for the squiggly part, I'm going to use the round nose pliers, and I am going to basically hold on to that extra wire that's left, kind of deep in the plier.
Yeah,
See how
very
that's
deep.
pretty deep in the
Yeah,
plier?
it is pretty deep.
And so I'm just going to take the wire and I'm going to bend it over the plier, so it looks like that.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to keep doing that. And I'm not worrying too much about how perfect it is. I just want it to be squiggly. All right? And I sort of, as I get to the end, if I run out of wire, I just make it a smaller squiggle. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, do you
Very
see
nice.
how this part here isn't straight? So if I hold it this way, if I hold it like that, it's not straight. So I can just tweak that. That's one of my special techniques.
Yeah,
Yes.
special technique.
Yeah, so basically what I'm going to do
Jen
is
Martineau technique.
straighten that out, and then I'm going to make sure that this is oriented in such a way that when I hang it in my piece,
It'll be straight.
it'll look good, yeah.
Yeah, people, for the viewers out there, you shouldn't be too concerned about tweaking, because it will not, provided that you're not working in the same direction repeatedly, you should be okay if you move it once or twice. But other than that, it will break. But
Yeah, I mean, I always just, you know, it's like straightening out your hair,
right,
you know?
but
You have a-
but people are, I'm sure people are thinking, won't that break the wire? But it won't.
Yeah, just a little bit of a tweak, you know, here and there to basically make it
I've
look.
done my share of tweaking.
So I'm just going to do another demo. I still have to make 3 more of these.
Okay.
So Pam, if you want, just you can talk about the order which
Right.
this piece is strung. Maybe start from this end and tell. These are 6mm glass beads.
6mm glass beads, and she has 5, and then what she did was, these are called Swarovski crystals, right here. I don't know how well, I think you can see them probably better on the blue.
Yep, and these are a 4mm size.
4mm size, and then she has what's called rondelles, and they're made of sterling silver, and they are in between the Swarovski crystals. And
So I did 4 sets of 5 6mm glass beads, and then I started in on the Charoite, which is what the name of the purple stone is.
oh yes, the Charoite
Yep,
with the little brown in it.
yep. And then I just basically made up a pattern that I thought looked pretty.
Yes,
So I'm just
it is very pretty.
making this.
It's pretty. Okay, now in between here,
Which one?
I'm just checking it out. Okay.
All right.
Just want to make sure that I'm stringing it correctly because I know how fastidious you are.
All right, so there's the long one. And now I'm going to make 2 more, and I'll just talk through this demo one more
All right.
time while you are stringing.
I think that's a good idea because I can't do 2 things at once. I lose my concentration.
All right, so basically I'm starting again with a 5-inch piece of wire,
Okay.
and I'm making a wrap loop at the top of it. To make the wrap loop, I use my round nose plier. I made sure to make my loop, and I'm holding on with the flat nose plier and wrapping all the way around. Like 3 times here.
Yeah.
And then I just do a trim and a tuck to make sure that it doesn't snag on your clothing.
Which can be a problem if it's not correct.
Well, and it's not comfortable, and it's
Not at all.
We want to make sure that we make our jewelry with polish. All right, so now this is the important part. Basically, start by making a loop around your plier. Then make sure that you tuck that little end under so you can get that loop started. All right, so it's tucked under. And then from there, I'm going to hold on to this, and then again, just turning a 1/4 turn at a time. And the little squiggles sit between the 2 crystals, actually. You need to take that guy out.
Oh, I didn't even. I know, I'm confused.
It's okay. It just,
I'm confused.
they
ma'am.
move sometimes when they're on that board.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, you gotta just quit smoking.
Yeah. I didn't inhale though.
All right, so making my squiggles.
And I am attempting to do this.
You're attempting to string.
I'm attempting to string.
I think you can do it.
You think? Okay. See,
All
there's
right.
one there, and there should be one here too, shouldn't there?
Nope. Oh yeah, there should be one there, the one that you took off. You're doing fine.
No, I'm not. Oh, goodness me.
All right. So, you know what we forgot to talk about today?
What did we forget to talk about?
Our raffle.
That's right.
All right, you want to tell people about this
Oh,
book?
absolutely,
This-
I will.
We got this from Calmback Publishing.
And it's called Beautiful Wild Jewelry for Beaders by Irina Mitch.
Mike, I think.
Mike. I'm sorry if I foul up the last name. Please forgive me. Another beautiful book.
It's actually a gorgeous book, and it has tons of wire techniques in there.
I
I
love
really like this book a lot.
I love the colored pictures.
It's a sellout book at our store.
It's beautiful.
So,
Wonderful.
and to get this book,
You have to go on our website, jewelryjunkietv.com, and
And-
sign up for our newsletter.
and you will get emails telling you about what's going on the show and any special events we might have in store for you.
And hopefully you win one of our raffle prizes.
Yep. And if you don't win, you still win when you get the newsletter.
This is true.
All right.
And also you do win by just participating, or attempting anyway.
All right, so I'm on my last spiral. And how's your stringing coming along?
Could be better.
All right, well, you want me to have
It's
a
all right.
look-see?
It's okay. I'm, slow but steady.
Yes,
Like the
slow and
turtle.
steady wins the race.
Absolutely.
All right.
So I would think that now. Oh, okay.
All right. I got you working today.
Yeah. Told you I can't do two things at once. I get confused very easily. I do like the colors in this one, but what I was thinking too, since this is September, you can also put in autumn colors if you'd like. There's a number of things that you can attempt to do with this.
Here.
With these spirals, there's so many different things you can do. You can not just make a necklace, but you can make a bracelet. You can make earrings. How cute would those be?
Oh, I made some right there.
Oh, for crying out loud, there they are.
So I'm just going to string up the rest so that people can get an idea of what it looks like.
You can also, though, add,
All right.
you can also add beads if you want to. I was just thinking,
Yep,
if you want to in between.
definitely.
Yeah. So there are a number of ways that you can
move
you
this
can
over.
use these spirals. Yeah, you should have this in front of you.
Just so people can see what's going on.
Absolutely.
All right, well, I really like it. And
I do too. Of course, my personal preference is the green one.
the green one, oh yes.
Yeah, I like green, you know that.
All right, and
Green is one of my favorite colors to use. I know it's confusing, huh?
nope, I'm good.
Oh, you are good. You never get confused.
This is,
I'm always in like a perpetual state of confusion.
all right. Do you want to,
Yeah, I can.
Wrap up while I-
Yeah, absolutely.
well,
I can wrap up and just basically talk about spirals, which are used in a lot of artwork. And I'm not sure if there is a significance to the spiral itself. The only thing I can think of is that the world spins,
goes around.
goes around, and maybe that's the reason why. But if anyone knows out there, I'd be interested. You can always send us an email if you know anything. I love using spirals in my jewelry. It's just fun and easy to do. You have the variations here, which looks like a spring, which I love. Those are beautiful. And you can even make necklaces or bracelets just using the springs if you want. Spirals and springs, all different types of things. So don't forget that we are on the net. We are jewelryjunkietv.com. We have a raffle every month, and we also have newsletters. And if there are any tips, they will be available on our website as well. And I'm going to use the tip that I used last time on wire working, that if you do want to practice, I would highly recommend using copper wire. Copper wire is less expensive, so you don't have that guilt of using up all your money on sterling. You don't want to do that.
Okay, I'm going to hold this up so people can see
Okay.
what it looks like.
So we can
So I just won't
talk
string
about,
the final part, but look at this.
oh, that's beautiful. Look
So,
at that.
you can
Put
see-
it up against yourself.
I have a
Beautiful.
necklace on, but you can see what it looks like.
Yes, absolutely. And next episode is we're going to celebrate Halloween. And
We'll have a few surprises
we'll
then.
have some few, yeah, because Halloween is our favorite.
Just don't scare me, Pam.
Hey. I know.
All right.
Well, anyway, that about wraps it up. And we want to thank you for joining us again. And we'll see you next month. Happy beading.
Bead Gallery loves a jewelry junkie. Bead Gallery is located at 100 North Broadway in tax-free Salem, New Hampshire. Bead Gallery offers more than 300 classes and all the beading supplies you need to make beautiful jewelry.
Artisan's Accomplice is proud to sponsor Jewelry Junkie. Artisan's Accomplice is a complete website system designed for jewelers and crafters. Create your own website with all the features you need to display and sell your products online. Try it out at artisansaccomplice.com.
You ever think about buying a bigger place?
Just waiting for a visit from the credit fairy.
There is no credit fairy.
How else will I get a better credit score?
Look, you keep your credit card balances low and only open a new card if you really need it.
No fairy?
There's no magic to improving your credit, but there's help, and it's free. Go to creditfairy.org.